You ever find yourself just staring at the ceiling at night, replaying some moment from your past and thinking, what if? Yeah, we've all been there. We look back at choices, conversations, actions, and we wonder about those paths we didn't take. But what if I told you that even though we can't actually go back in time, the English language has its own kind of time machine? Well, today, we're going to learn how to use it.
You know, the past often feels just like this, doesn't it? A little out of focus, a collection of really bright spots, and some pretty hazy memories. And it's in those blurry moments that our minds start to wonder, what if we could just tweak one little thing? What if we turned left instead of right? Well, language gives us a way to go back and explore that.
I mean, it's the ultimate fantasy, right? The ability to just go back and fix a mistake, or say something you wish you had, or maybe even unsay something you wish you hadn't. That feeling is totally universal. It's just a core part of being human.
So forget about all the complicated machinery. Our time machine is built entirely out of words. English gives us this incredible toolkit to construct alternate realities, to voice that ache of regret, and to explore all these hypothetical situations with, honestly, amazing precision.
Okay, first up, we're going to explore the language of regret itself. Think of these as the most essential controls on our time machine, the ones we use to look back on a past we kind of wish was different.
So the very first tool in our kit is for tackling the most common kind of regret. Looking back at a single moment and just wishing it had gone differently. Getting this down is the foundation for everything else we're going to talk about.
And the perfect tool for this job is the phrase should have. It's simple, it's direct, and it perfectly communicates that feeling of looking back on a past mistake or maybe a missed opportunity.
And the formula? It's beautifully simple. You just combine should have with the past participle of a verb. This structure is the perfect way to talk about something you did but really wish you hadn't. Or, on the flip side, something you didn't do but now wish you had. Just think about it this way. On one side, you've got reality. On the other, you've got regret. So the reality might be, I didn't say I was sorry. The regret then becomes, I should have said I was sorry. See? The grammar itself completely flips the reality. Here's a classic, totally relatable example. When you say, I shouldn't have eaten so much cake, you're actually telling a whole story. The unspoken part is that you did eat a lot of cake and, well, now you're feeling the consequences. It's a perfect little narrative of action and regret, all packed into one sentence.
And here's another one. I should have called you earlier. The unspoken truth right there is, but I didn't. This one little phrase instantly communicates a missed opportunity or a failure to act. It's incredibly efficient and just packed with meaning.
So we've handled those single moments of regret, but what about the bigger what-ifs? Now we're going to get into building entire alternate universes, those complex if-only scenarios that we all play out in our minds.
Now, to build these complex worlds, we use this beautiful piece of linguistic machinery called the Third Conditional. I know, it sounds super technical, but trust me, it's just a really powerful way to talk about an unreal past and the unreal result that would have followed from it.
Okay, so it works in two parts. First, you have the if clause. This uses the past perfect tense to create the hypothetical condition. That's the thing that didn't actually happen. Then the result clause shows us the imagined consequence, the thing that also didn't happen, by using would have.
Let's see it in action. If you had called me, I would have come. So what's the reality here? Well, you didn't call me, and because of that, I didn't come. This one sentence creates a complete alternate past timeline where both of those things happen totally differently. It's pretty fascinating stuff.
But what if the result wasn't a sure thing? This is where it gets really cool. You can add all this nuance just by swapping would have for might have to show possibility, or could have to show ability. This gives your alternate realities all these different shades of meaning.
All right, let's take our time machine one step further. What happens when an action in the unreal past has a consequence that we're feeling right now, in the present?
For this, we use something called the mixed conditional. The if clause, that stays in the past, but the result, that shifts to the present. So instead of a past result, like we would have been full, we get a present one. We wouldn't be hungry now. See the difference?
Here is another perfect example. If you had graduated, that's the unreal past event, we would be celebrating. That's the unreal present result. The party would be happening right now, but it isn't because that past event didn't happen. It perfectly connects a hypothetical past to a very real and maybe a little sad present.
Okay, now that we've gone over the tools, it's time to put you in the driver's seat of this time machine. Let's try and apply what we've learned to a real-world scenario. Okay, picture this. The food was delicious, the evening was perfect, and now the check is on the table. You reach for your wallet, and nothing. It's not there. Oh, that sinking feeling. So, using what we've just learned, what would you have done?
Well, you've got options. Maybe you're certain, I would have explained the situation. Or maybe you're just weighing possibilities. I might have asked about checks. Or perhaps you're thinking about your abilities. Well, I could have called my brother. Each choice, would, might, or could, uses the same grammar to paint a slightly different picture of your alternate past. So, to wrap it all up, here are the keys to your new linguistic time machine. For those simple, direct regrets, you're going to use should have. For creating a whole alternate past with a past result, use the third conditional. And to connect a past hypothetical to a present reality, that's when you bring out the mixed conditional.
And that brings us to the end. But the journey really isn't over. With these tools, you now have a new, much more precise way to talk about the past. So the final question is for you. What story, what regret, what if scenario will you now be able to explore? What's one thing you'll see differently?